Hi, and welcome to another episode of App Marketing Conversations. I am Ryan Morrell with GameHouse. As always, I'm here with Ian Sefferman of MobileDevHQ, Rubi Ganguly of Apptentive. How you guys doing this morning?
Doing well.
Fantastically.
Good. That's a word, right?
It is.
All right. Just don't hear it that often.
It feels like you should say it more often.
I'm going to. I'm totally going to steal that. Great. So today I think we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about MobileDevHQ and Apptentive, introduce you to the GameHouse audience, make sure people, they've been hearing your opinions on app marketing for the last couple months now, so I want to make sure they actually know what you guys do. So maybe Ian, you can start and kind of give us the high-level overview of MobileDevHQ and
Yeah. So the 30-second version is, so we're an app store optimization startup. So we help app marketers rank highly in app store search. We help them understand how the app store is working and drive more organic downloads. So those are downloads that are generally free and super high quality. The users have shown intent. They're not randomly clicking on a banner. They're certainly not incentivized. So they're gonna drive high ROI on the organic side of the world, and we help them do that.
Okay.
And so Apptentive, we're the easiest way for every company with an app to talk with their customers. And what I mean by that is that people use your app and they're inside your software, and most companies today don't really use that as a channel to talk to people, but that's actually the best place to get them and figure out what you can do well by them and how you can make your app better and how you can get them to come back on a regular basis. So everything from powering support and feedback to getting more and better ratings and intercepting negative feedback to doing real-time market research using surveys. We do all that inside the app without you having to launch a lot of code every time you make changes and ship updates to the App Store.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so Ian, App Store optimization for search sounds really interesting, but why should, you talked a little bit about this, but expand on why should a developer or publisher care about ranking really high?
Yeah, so I think there's a few factors in there. The first is that it's easy to generate downloads, right? It's one of the best ways to generate downloads. And then as you build on average, our customers see typically a 20% increase in their downloads, which is phenomenal, right? If you could get 20% more downloads for free, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And then I think the second part to it is sort of that math equation, which if you look at sort of how much many developers, especially in the game space, are spending on downloads, I think the latest numbers that I saw, probably from Fixu, were to get a loyal user is like $1.50, right? And so if you're an app that has 1 million downloads a month, and our product at sort of its max is a few $1,000s a month, which is our enterprise side. If you're self-service, you can get it for $125 a month. But so if you're thinking about you have 1 million downloads a month, and you have a 1% increase because of what you're doing with ASO, that's 10,000 downloads. That would be the equivalent of spending $15,000, right? And so you're saving tens of thousands of dollars per month by doing ASO, and at the same time, the users that you're getting. Whereas if you were doing poor advertising, they might not stick around very long. They're probably not going to be super loyal on the paid side. Whereas in ASO, you're almost guaranteed that they're going to be good, right? Because they're searching for the things that you are offering.
Yeah.
So generally, the ROI on it is just massive, and there's almost no risk involved.
Yeah.
And there's another aspect of this we hear from our customers who use you guys. They learn more, right? They understand more about their market and who cares and who's finding that stuff. And I think that totally underestimated in ROI, but most of us are early in this game, and learning more faster gives us a competitive advantage, right?
Yeah, I think that's a totally great point.
Yeah.
So what percentage of total downloads come from search?
So it's a super hard thing to figure out, and obviously it depends on how much you're paying as well. The statistic that always gets thrown around is not necessarily the percentage of downloads that come from search, but the percentage of consumers that find apps through search.
Yeah.
And that one, it turns out, like a few people have talked about it. So Forrester did a study, Nielsen did a study. They both came out to 65% of consumers search for apps, And that doesn't include the top charts, that doesn't include, you know, social, shared from a friend, things like that. So 65%, and that makes that search the largest channel. And then, you know, like Google has talked about how the vast majority of downloads in Google Play come from search.
Yeah.
So it's a large number.
Yeah. Okay. So Rubi, you and I have known each other for a while, and I think early on, one of the things you guys had a trouble with was getting people to really understand why they should care, right?
Yep.
Because apps were at that point a little widget-like, and it was kind of like we're gonna get a user, we'll try to make some money off them, and then we're gonna throw them away. But so tell us about a little bit about how things have changed in the 2 years or so since you guys have been around.
Yeah, so I would say two main things have changed. One is people have come to realize that ratings and reviews are a tremendous problem/opportunity in the App Store. So when you think about App Store optimization, you know, step one is having people find your app and see your App Store page. But then step two is making sure that people convert when they see your App Store page. For every company, it's very democratizing. For every company in the App Store, you have to actually show that customer your App Store page before they download your app. They just don't do it blindly. They get to evaluate that. And so when they get there, they see the ratings and reviews. What other people said. Is this worth my time? Doesn't matter if it's free or not, right? Is it worth my time to download this? And so making sure that you have happy customers, that they're delighted, that they're saying great things in the App Store, it's a really big problem that faces most companies, large and small. And you know, as people have woken up to that pain, they've really come to us and said, okay, how do I actually make sure that my happy customers are saying good things? And how do I make sure that people who are unhappy have an outlet to me as opposed to the App Store? The App Store is a horrible place for that kind of dialogue or ranting more often than not. And most people understand that at this point. Or I guess most is probably still too much, but more people understand that now than 2 years ago. So that's number one. And then the second thing I would say is that early on in the days of the App Store, a lot of apps were just made by companies who were just focused on making apps. Today, apps are made by large commerce companies that actually sell products in person as well as online and through their mobile apps. Large travel companies that help people book travel plans. Companies that do lots of media and entertainment, right? So these large companies, as they're moving to the mobile space, are very aware of what it means to have a lifetime customer, not just a one-time download. And so when they think about how do I keep a lifetime mobile customer, they ask, what's it look like to engage with these people through this channel? And then they come to us and say, it looks like you have a tool that can help us do that.
Yeah. So to summarize, basically, early on, people didn't really take the opportunity around the App Store and consumer engagement very serious, really all that seriously. Now that they're seeing, hey, there's potential for big business and to connect with consumers in a really meaningful way, your software becomes really important to them.
Yeah, and I tend to believe that there's another aspect, which is just as we continue moving forward in time, companies are waking up to the fact that they should take care of us and they should listen to us. And I think that's what's exciting for us, right? We believe that companies should treat their customers better. And so as more companies believe the same thing, they're looking for tools, and it turns out there are very few to actually talk with customers and try to do that.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So, Ian, anything else you want to add about yourself or MobileDevHQ?
Come check us out. We have a free plan forever, so it's free to try, free to play with, and feel free to always reach out to me directly if you have any questions at all.
Okay. www.mobiledevhq.com.
Indeed.
Rubi?
Similar deal. We have a free plan that gets you started. We're always happy to help out. We talk with companies large and small all the time about the best ways to communicate with your customers, and we're at www.apptentive.com, and I'm Rubi at Apptentive, so that's ROBI at Apptentive. So always happy to talk directly.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks very much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and make sure to watch the other segments.